Employers failing to pay contributions to workers' MPF accounts on the rise. A Mexican Navy ship hits Brooklyn Bridge in New York City. Hello and welcome to TVB News. I'm Melissa Hekalea. The managing director of the Mandatory Provident Fund Scheme, or MPFA, says the number of payment notices issued to defaulting employers may increase this year. Mimo Singhai reports.
Speaking on a TVB program, MPFA's managing director Zhang Yanqi said the number of payment notices issued by authorities to employers who default on MPF contributions for their employees have been on the rise in the past 3 years. In 2022, about 340,000 payment notices were issued. Such a figure had jumped to 390,000 in 2024. MPFA estimates that a similar or greater number of notices will be sent out this year. As an enforcement measure against the non-compliance employers, authorities can impose a contribution surcharge of 5% on them. Zhang said they will discuss with the government about introducing a legislation hoping to increase the surcharge for employers who have failed to pay the contribution for a long time. If the situation continues, Zhang said the MPFA will launch an investigation before starting a civil action. The existing administration fee for MPF is usually set at 1.35%. Zhang said the percentage could be lowered after MPF full portability and the e-MPF platform are in operation. The full portability allows members to transfer more MPF benefits derived from mandatory contributions to an MPF scheme of their choice. The aim is to encourage employees to manage their MPF investments and promote market competition. Mimsnai, TVB News.
The Hong Kong dollar recently strengthened against the U.S. dollar. Financial Secretary Paul Chan said authorities will closely monitor market developments and maintain financial stability. Samantha Lee has more.
At the beginning of this month, the Hong Kong dollar reached the strong side convertibility level of 7.75 per US dollar. Given that the local currency is pegged to a tight band between 7.75 and 7.85 per US dollar under Hong Kong's linked exchange rate system, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, or HKMA, intervened buying the US currency and injecting a total of 129 billion Hong Kong dollars into the market. In his weekly blog post, Financial Secretary Paul Chan noted there had been capital inflows and the Hong Kong interbank offered rate had edged down. He said capital flows and interest rate are affected by multiple external and internal factors. He pledged the government will closely monitor market developments and maintain financial stability. The finance chief also noted the Hang Seng Index has gained about 16% since the start of the year, with the stock exchange recording an average daily turnover of over $270 billion in April. He said capital flows across the world showed the market's worries over the risks brought by the U.S. unilateralism at that. Chan said China at the same time embraces openness and cooperation, which won the hearts of investors in the world. He added the SAR government is stepping up efforts in pushing for fintech development in a bid to achieve high-quality development. Samantha Lee, TVB News.
A 75-year-old man died this morning after being hit by a minibus in Ngau Tau Kok. The man was crossing the road when the accident happened. Police arrested the 78-year-old driver of the minibus on suspicion of dangerous driving causing death. After the accident, the minibus was parked on the side of the road near Ngau Tau Kok MTR station, a dent on the front of the vehicle. Police arrested the minibus driver while a passenger stayed on board the vehicle to assist in the police investigation. The victim was said to have been struck by the minibus while crossing the road. He was pronounced dead at United Christian Hospital. A turbojet vessel hit the pier while docking at the Hong Kong-Macau ferry terminal yesterday. 3 ferry services were canceled today, and the operator said there will be more adjustments in the short term. The terminal operated as usual this morning. The ferry company said 3 services between Hong Kong and Macau scheduled for today were canceled because the vessel was undergoing emergency repairs. It said the vessel suffered mechanical failure during the trip from Hong Kong to Macau and was forced to return to the city's terminal. The vessel will be examined by the authorities later. In the U.S., 2 crew members died after a Mexican Navy sailing ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge during a promotional tour in New York City. The top of its mast slammed into the iconic structure. David Garrett with more.
The Mexican Navy tool ship, the Cuauhtémoc, on a global goodwill mission, getting into difficulties, making its way out of New York. The Academy training vessel, over 90 meters long and 12 meters wide, with its huge Mexican flag at the front, coming dangerously close to the shore as people on dry land scatter. Crew members can be seen on or around the mast in harnesses. The boat was about to crash into the landmark Brooklyn Bridge. The next video posted from the riverbank shows the mast crunching into the underside of the structure and cracking on impact. People on the riverbank react in shock. It was just before 8:30 p.m. and the bridge was busy with traffic.
The boat kind of just was going past the bridge, and you just saw the top of it snap off, and it just kept on snapping, and I think there was a person dangling from the top.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if it was just blurry or just my eyes.
What happened to the Cuauhtémoc is still being investigated. Other witnesses saying it reversed towards Brooklyn Bridge. For some time afterwards, the boat was stranded in the river as rescue teams worked to get people to safety and questioned the crew to determine what went wrong.
The captain that was maneuvering the ship lost, power of the ship and the current. Mechanical function caused the ship to go right into the pillar of the bridge.
Authorities stress these reports are preliminary. A tugboat was seen near the stricken vessel just before the crash. The Mexican Navy say the ship had 277 people on board and left port at just after 8, heading out to sea and ultimately onto its next destination of Iceland. Officials had to report deaths and multiple injuries on the East River under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Our hearts go out to the family members, and many family members are going to be traveling here from Mexico. We want to make sure we collaborate with the ambassador and his team to give them the proper information at the hospital. As I stated, 19 were injured, 4 were seriously injured. They were moved to Bellevue Hospital.
There is no major damage to the iconic 142-year-old bridge. Traffic was briefly halted after the collision, but resumed after inspection. Some small repair work was being carried out. As the ship was towed away from the scene, investigations continue. The lengthy celebratory journey, which was due to take in up to 15 countries, coming to an abrupt and tragic end, docking at a pier near Manhattan Bridge, having failed to make it past Brooklyn. David Garrett, TVB News.
Multiple U.S. law enforcement agencies are still hunting 7 of the 10 men who broke out of a New Orleans jail. Police reminded the public in Louisiana that the escapees are dangerous. Defective locks and poor surveillance were blamed for allowing the men to escape. Footage has emerged of their audacious bid for freedom. They got out through a hole behind a toilet and scaled a wall. Above the hole, they had scrawled, "Too easy." Authorities have warned anyone found helping the convicts will be prosecuted. Police have managed to capture 3 of the men with suspicions that the group may have had help from prison staff. UK police have arrested but not yet named a second person in connection with a series of fires at properties linked to Prime Minister Keir Starmer. A statement reads, a 26-year-old was arrested at Luton Airport on suspicion of conspiracy to commit arson with intent to endanger life. It goes on to list the recent incidents which involved properties connected to Starmer. The 3 separate blazes in London are being treated as arson. The second arrest follows that of a 21-year-old Ukrainian, Roman Lavrinovich, who appeared in court on Friday accused of arson. Still ahead, Pope Leo XIV's inaugural Mass at the Vatican. And an AI creativity exhibition in Beijing. Pope Leo XIV held his inaugural Mass in St. Peter's Square before tens of thousands of people, presidents, patriarchs, and princes. History's first American pope vowed to work for unity and help the Catholic Church become a symbol for world peace. Leo XIV took his first Pope-mobile ride through St. Peter's Square on Sunday, waving to the crowds that lined the streets. The new pontiff's inauguration Mass on Sunday morning was filled with symbolism and his special mission as head of the Catholic Church. Two of the most significant moments are the imposition of the pallium, a vestment made with lamb's wool symbolizing the Pope's role as a good shepherd, and the fisherman's ring, bringing people into the faith like Peter's miraculous gathering of fish after Jesus told him where to cast the net. He appeared to choke up after receiving the two items. In his homily, Leo said he wanted to be a servant to the faithful through love and unity so the Church can be a force for peace. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance was among the high-profile guests who attended the Mass. Indirect negotiations between Hamas and Israel resumed on Saturday in the Qatari capital Doha. Amid more death and destruction in Gaza, senior Hamas official Mahmoud Mardawi said the talks are being held under Qatari and U.S. mediation in an effort to reach a ceasefire and finalize a hostage exchange deal without preconditions. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz confirmed on Saturday the resumption of negotiations with Hamas. Katz said Hamas returned to the table after the launch of Israel's newly initiated military operation aimed at expanding the scope of fighting in Gaza. On Friday night, the Israeli military announced it had escalated operations in Gaza, carrying out a wave of airstrikes and deploying additional ground forces. Hundreds of Palestinians have been killed in the latest attacks. In January, Israel and Hamas reached a ceasefire agreement, but failed to advance to the second stage of the deal. In Beijing, the mainland's first AI-themed public exhibition recently kicked off. Jackie Lin reports.
China's AI creativity exhibition opens to the public in Beijing's Chaoyang district. Upon entry, visitors are greeted by a humanoid robot waving his hands and flaunting his push-up skills. Exhibitor Chen Peng said the robot can dance, haul boxes, and get back up on its own after falling down. It's also capable of verbal interaction. He says some clients will rent the robot to play football in their events. Also popular among visitors is this AI guard dog. Ms. Chen said it's adorable and she thinks she prefers a robotic dog as it takes much more time and effort to take care of real dogs. The marketing manager said the robotic dog is equipped with a large AI model with comprehensive understanding of human knowledge and emotional intelligence, which can amuse you and serve as a bridge of communication among family members. This exhibition focuses mainly on the applications of artificial intelligence tech firms in practical scenarios. For instance, donning this pair of AI glasses allows you to enjoy a 100-inch large TV screen anytime, anywhere. This Beijing citizen said his resolution is beyond his expectations, but he wonders if the gadget's battery is able to hold up for 2 or 3 hour-long movies. The exhibition area is divided into 5 sections: robotics, entertainment, life, productivity, and learning. Organizers hope to cultivate a new AI-driven consumption environment through the exhibition. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the evening.